Okay, let's continue in the last lecture of the SQL. Okay, so in the previous lecture, we had some technical issues, so it got disconnected earlier, and we were discussing about natural joins. Okay, so let's have a small break one, then we'll continue. Now, when we use a natural join, you are not allowed to use on keyword. Now, if I execute this, we are getting a no data font because you understood that it always pick up those column for joining purpose which are common in both the table. So what we were doing is we were renaming certain column, so only one column should remain the common. So I say alter table Bollywood, rename column name to active. This was done. Then I say alter table Bollywood, rename age to actor age. Let's execute this. Okay, what we are getting here, keyword column. So I say rename column age to actor age. Done. What all we have here in the M Bollywood. Let's execute this and we'll check it here. Name is changed, age is changed, gender actually not required because we don't need gender because it's a male only, then it is coming here. It's a female only, then it is coming here. Sorry, female is coming here. Male. Actually, it is not required. So we'll do one thing. We'll drop the gender from both the sides. So we'll say alter table M Bollywood drop column GENDER gender. Table is altered. Same thing we'll do with F Bollywood. Okay, so now if I check the inner join, we have 1, 2, 3 column here. 1, 2, 3 column here. But here the first column is name, second is age, and third is ID. But here actor, age, and ID. Only one column name is a common. So now if I perform natural join, it will take only this column for joining purpose and will return matching record based on ID. Clear? But ID will be displayed only once. Here you will see it has displayed only 1, 2, 3. So here ID also again, ID also again. Now if I execute this natural join, we got the same result, only ID once. Simple. So this was the remaining in last lecture. So we have covered it here. That is a natural join. So natural join is clear. So now can we say that you understood the cross join, inner join, outer left join, right join, full join, and the natural join. So almost you know all the types of joins. Now certain are remaining. That's the two things, self and semi and empty. Okay, so we'll discuss about that things. So first, let's go here. Self join. Now I told you that self is not a keyword. So what is a self join? So simply a self means what? When we talk about in Hindi, it's a self yani khud, Marathi swata. So self means khud ko khud se join karna. That means one table is get joined with the same table is called a self join. But one thing is there, just hold it 1 second. So self-join is joining the same table with the same table. That's called a self-join. Now, one thing is important that for joining purpose, you have to have two tables. So self-join says that same table has to be joined with the same table, then it is a self-join. So how can we make that possible? So it's very simple. We can use the same table as a left table with a different alias. Temporary name is a different. And same table is a right table, but the temporary name is a different. So that will be considered as a self-join. So you already know that what the join is. So only difference between the self-join and other join is, in other join, we basically have two different tables, but here we are using the same table as a right and left tables. And it is mostly used when you have the same table which is having a foreign key which take input from same table's primary key. Now for an example here, we have a table. Excuse me. So look at this table. In this table, we have an employee number, employee name, and manager. Now, manager is a foreign key. Employee number is a primary key. And this 7839 taking a reference from here. Correct? So can we say this king is a manager of black? So this row is related with this. So when we have this kind of data, we perform the self-join. So how do we perform that? Simply look at this. This is the table name, employee ID, first name, manager ID. Now we want to join the same table with the same table. So what we are saying here, select employee ID, first name, manager ID from employees. Now instead of this one, I make it as a E1 and E2. So can we say now physically there is a one table employee, but virtually now there are two tables E1 and E2. Now hence we have a two tables. Automatically we can write a join in the same manner. So here you can see that one table we can take it as a manager, one table we can take it as an employee. Data will be the same, but let's see if we ask a question, स्टीवन का मैनेजर कौन है? नल, कोई भी नहीं. नीना का मैनेजर 100. Who is the 100? Here, Steven. So this row get joined with this. So same thing what we are going to do here on manager ID equal to employee ID. Manager ID equal to employee ID. Simple here. So let's see if I write this, how it is going to execute. This row will execute. Join with this, 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 and finally you'll get a result something like this. Simple here. So how you write it? Okay, let's write it a query here. So how do we do that? So we don't have a table where we do have same employee ID or this thing. Okay, let's check the table here. Select the family. I don't know whether I have it or not. Let's check it out. Yes, I do have. So let's say this is the table what we have created. In this table, what do we have? We have a Rishi Kapoor, Ranbir Kapoor, Prithviraj Kapoor, and Raj Kapoor. and this is their parent ID. So based on this parent ID, we come to know that Rishi's parent is a number 2. Who is a number 2 here? Raj. So Raj Kapoor is a parent of Rishi Kapoor. Now we want a result that first as a Rishi Kapoor, second as his parent. So what we do? So we can say that select, we can give the name as B1 dot name, comma, B2 dot name. Right, so where's the B1 and B2? So B1 is a virtual table of the same B family, and B2 will be the virtual table of B family. So we'll say here from B family, simple here, join. Before joining, we'll give the name here as B1. Again, we'll use the same table, B family, and we'll give the name as B2. On B1 dot PID, PD. So we'll say B1 dot PD equal to B2 dot ID. Let's execute this now. We have a Ranbir as a son, Rishi as a father, Raj as a son, Prithviraj as a father, Rishi as a son, Raj as a father. So if you want to make that clear here, so you can say here, Alice as child and call it as. So the confusion won't be there, child and parent. So this is the pure example of self-join. Clear here? So self-join is very simple to understand. When same table get joined with same table, it is considered as self-join. Clear? Now, let's come back here. Now semi-join and empty-join. What is a semi-join and empty-join? Actually, they are not joins, but we call them as a join because it returns something like a join. So here we say that always used along with the exist operator and correlated subquery. It's a correlated subquery. So what will happen? Only those records will exist are returned in which records are matching from the left table. And anti-join exactly the same, but instead of exist, we use a not exist. So below query will be true if it is not existing. So which record will be selected? जो match नहीं करते हैं. So simply semi-joins means what? You are not returning the result from both the table. You are returning the result only from left table based on matching of your right table. Same way, you are returning the records which are not matching in the right table. That's called an anti-join. Simple here. Or you want me to write a query? Okay, we'll write a query. So it will be easy for us. So look at the query. Select column ID, column name from one table. Okay, we can match with that also. So males 2020 M, and we are looking in the F. Okay, so let's try to write it here. We'll go here. Okay, so we'll say that select star from M Bollywood. We are trying all the records which are having the actresses, So we'll say from M Bollywood, and we'll give here M. Simple. Now select is done, so we'll say where. where के साथ हम क्या यूज करेंगे? Exist. Now exist is required a subquery. So we'll say select. Now exist के साथ जो subquery है, that does not has to return any output to the final out. So we say select one from F Bollywood. We'll say the F where m dot id equal to f dot id. Let's execute this. Some wrong table name we have done it here. Yes. So we got only Ranveer and Sanju. Why? Because rest, third one is a Ranveer, which does not have actress in the F Bollywood. So it's a semi-join. It is not returning their actress name. It is returning only for those records who are having the actress. Ranveer has a 2, does not make a difference, but the result is only once. Now anti-join, same query, will say not exist. In this case, what will happen? Only the Ranveer has come opposite to this. That's an anti-join. So semi-join is clear, anti-join is clear. So almost, not almost, actually we have finished everything about the joins. Very simple. One thing will be required, that you have to do a practice on your own. Then only you will be the master in writing the queries. Okay, so let's continue. So now we'll talk about a special type of query called as a hierarchical queries. What is a hierarchical query? Hierarchical queries are used to retrieve the data in a tree structure. If table contain hierarchical data, then you can select rows in the hierarchical order using the hierarchical query. So it is same like a other query. One additional thing is added, that is start with and connect by. Select from where, you know it very well. So you have to add a start with and connect by prior. Start with condition and connect by prior. Now, if you want top to bottom, you have to say child column equal to parent column. If you want bottom to top, you have to say parent column equal to child column. Okay. When you are listening and looking at here, it is always a difficult at the beginning. So I'll just show you practically here. Okay, so this is joins is clear to everyone. So we'll remove the joins now. We'll say Control A and delete. Okay, I'm using the file select star from B family. Now in this, I want to retrieve in a tree structure. What do you mean by the tree structure? Let's say if I want to start with a parent to child, top to bottom. So पृथ्वीराज कपूर, फिर उसका बेटा, फिर उसका बेटा, फिर उसका बेटा, ऐसा रिजल्ट आना चाहिए. In that case, what we can do it here, simply we can say select star from B family, or we'll say select name from B family. Simple. Now I'm not using a start with. Okay, I will use a start with. Start with ID equal to 1. Okay, because we want to start with the Prithviraj Kapoor. So we'll say ID equal to 1. And next we have to add here connect by. Now we want top to bottom. So we'll say where PID equal to ID. Connect by prior PID equal to ID. Oh, sorry, it's not a PID, it's a PD. Oh. It should be the opposite here. It should be the ID equal to PD. Because we want top to bottom. तो पृथ्वीराज, उसका बेटा राज, उसका बेटा ऋषि, उसका बेटा रणवीर. करेक्ट. अब हमको उल्टा चाहिए. रणवीर, उसके डैडी ऋषि, उसके डैडी राज, उसके डैडी पृथ्वीराज. सो विल से, अब यहाँ पे आईडी दिख नहीं रही है, सो यू कैन गिव एनी कंडीशन हियर. विल से वेयर स्टार्ट विथ नेम इक्वल टू रणवीर. And here we'll make a opposite. PD equal to ID. Now you will see that we are going to get the opposite. Ranveer, uske daddy, or uske daddy. This is the actual use of the hierarchical queries. Simple here. So it's a hierarchical queries. Now we'll talk about views. What the views is? View is very simple thing to understand. Now, usually everyone know that in SQL, concept of view is understood as a virtual table. So when we say it's a virtual table, what's the meaning of virtual table? Meaning of the virtual table is that that table is not actually available. Then how it is a table? So what happened? Let's understand here. If I go here, okay, let's remove now this. We'll say select star from Hollywood. Now, can I say this is the actual table? But if I say select star from, I'm using a subquery. I say select name, age, gender from Hollywood. Now, what will be the result? This will execute first. And now this will be the table for this query. So this table is actually stored, or it is just a result of this query? It's a result of this query. So this result of this query is nothing but a view. So whenever we write a subquery in a from clause, that is also considered as inline view. If I execute it here, we're getting the same result. So this is the concept of a view. Now here, this is also called as inline view. What do you mean by the inline view? That you are creating a view in the line of your query. That's why it's an inline view. Now, if I store this query and use it as a result every time, that will be the view. Now, for an example, how to create a view? Same DML statement, create view. We will give the name as VW1. Okay, so let's say 1, or we can say VW Bollywood as, and we can use this query for creating a view. Create view name as this query. So now this I execute. Name is already exist. So what exists we are having here, this is already being created. So I'll do one thing, I'll drop it. Say drop view VW one. So what was existing available, that have been dropped. So now I can create it here. I got a message, view is created. Now, what actually has created? Actually, there is no table has been created. This query has been stored with the name of this. So now, when I execute this, this query will execute and the result of that will act as a table. That's why it is called as a view. So here if I say select star from VW Bollywood. Now when I'm executing this is nothing but this query. So this query will get executed internally and that will be the result for us. That is simply considered as a view. Simple here. Is it clear? Yes, so this is the concept of a view. But now certain things you have to remember. And that things are that view is not stored anywhere. It is a query. But still, you can insert, update, and delete the records in the view. So how it can happen? So whenever you are performing any DML statement on a view, then it will affect the base table on which it is created. ये जो VW बॉलीवुड है ये किस पे क्रिएट हुआ है? बॉलीवुड पे. So if you insert something here, that will get inserted. If you delete something from here, it will get deleted from here. If you update anything here, that will get updated here. The simple understanding here is that view is always depend on, DML you perform on the view affect the base table on which it is created. Simple. That is the total concept of a view. Now, when we say what's a view, so a view take an output of a query and make it appear like a table that we have seen. A view is a virtual table through which selective portion of the data from one or more table can be seen. That is also we have seen. Now in the view, we have only the 3 columns, but on the base table, we have multiple columns. View does not contain data of their own. ये भी समझ में आ गया होगा. अब व्यू एग्जीक्यूट किया तो उसका खुद का डेटा नहीं है. उस क्वेरी ने जो डेटा रिट्राइव किया, that data will be the data of view. Clear? Then a view is stored as a select statement in the database that I have already told you. And DML operation means what? Insert, update, delete. Whatever you perform on the view, that actually get affected on the original table upon which the view is based. Is it clear now? So concept of view is very simple here. So what is the syntax of creating a view? Create, view, view name as, and select statement. So according to this select statement, your view will have a columns and rows. Now there are certain types of views. That is a horizontal view, vertical view, row and column view, group by view, and join view. Now understand it very simple. What do you mean by the horizontal and vertical? Horizontal means a line this way. Let's see. When I am using can I say horizontal means this? Wait a minute. Okay, now this point has come. Horizontal means this line. and vertical means this line. Correct? So when we have a horizontal difference between the base table and view, view में 3 ही column, table में उससे ज़्यादा, that means there is a horizontal difference here. So this will be called as horizontal view. When it is possible, while creating a view, if you are selecting the less or more column in the view, will be the horizontal view. Vertical. अगर आपका बेस टेबल और व्यू में वर्टिकल डिफरेंस है, then it will be considered as vertical view. कब हो सकता है ये डिफरेंस? When you are using where clause in your query. Simple. Then we have a column and row and column views. जब ये दोनों differences हैं, then it will be the row and column view. If you have this difference also, and if you have this difference also, then it will be considered as row and column view, combination of both. Group by view. What is a group by view? Group by view is nothing but whenever you are using group by clause or aggregate function in your query, while creating the view, then that view will be the grouped by view. Last one is a joined view. What is a joined view? Very simple. Whenever we perform any join in the query while creating the view, that view will be the joined view. Simple. Horizontal, column wise difference. Vertical, row wise difference. Row and column and row both are different. Grouped by, if we are using the aggregate function or a group by, then it is a grouped by view. Joined view, when you perform join while creating the view, then it will be considered as joined view. So simple. So simply with this, we have finished the SQL class, or you can say all the SQL lectures up till the views. All the best. Make sure that all of you practice a lot.